Hildegard from Bingen, the great mystic of the 12th century, she was a Benedictine nun, said, "The things that I don't see, I don't know them." We need to properly see, in a way or another, the things that we would like to know. And today, we will talk about street photography, a genre of photography that might help us in being more connected with reality and with our daily environment. We can understand street photography as a way of taking pictures that brings us to the streets where people interact with the environment and with each other. After having tried to connect with nature as a primary source on our first video dedicated to landscape photography, and after having worked on still life photography as a way to connect with single objects and subjects, now it's time to move on, grab our camera and step out of our houses and face the streets. We will try to immerse ourselves in the places where we live, our city, our neighborhood, our street, and see it with fresh eyes and a free mind. I personally live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, which is Florence, Italy. And I cycle every day in front of the Duomo, in the very city center, to go to work. But most of the time, I don't pay attention at all to what I see. Most of the time, I just pass in front of the Duomo, of the Battistero, of the Campanile di Giotto, and I literally don't see them. Sometimes because I'm in a hurry, sometimes because I am wrapped in my thoughts and my inner discussions, in my logismoi, as the mothers and fathers of the desert would call them. But of course there are so many tourists and local people in this place that one might think it's impossible to avoid them. But in reality, I don't see them either. Of course I'm aware of their presence, otherwise I couldn't drive my bike through the crowd, but I really don't pay attention to the symphony that the combination of this place with the people creates. So I think that there's definitely room and time for a conscious practice of street photography as a way to learn again to live with others in communion the places that we inhabit. We don't need to practice it in a renowned place or go to an exotic destination. What we need is to make some time, to make some space, be courageous enough to go outside and be seen with a camera on our hands and just spend some time out there. I found it very useful and somehow liberating for me, spending some time just wandering around the city without having in my mind any specific purpose, if not the purpose of not having a purpose. What I'm trying to say is that many people today are constantly busy. Their minds are constantly busy, constantly working. And we spend a great amount of time in an office or in a working place. But what we need to go from, and when we need to go from one place to another, we try to do it quickly, trying to waste the least amount of time that's possible. And usually doing so, our mind is busy as well. We are affected by what just happened or by what we are going to do. Sometimes our nose is immersed in our phones, even when we walk or when we take a bus. Too often, we don't allow ourselves the time and space to just live in the city or in the place that we reside. So when I set aside some time, maybe half an hour or 1 hour or so, and I spend it just walking through the streets, sitting on a bench, or simply watching what's happening around me, then I notice a real change in my way of perceiving reality. I also noticed that my mind was quieter. I was more relaxed and calm. And on those days, I could feel that I was somehow different. In the past, people used to live more on the streets. I don't think this is only an Italian thing, but it can be applied to many other places and cultures in the world. Human beings are by nature social animals. And of course, we tend to see and consider people that we like. But by doing so, we miss the chance and the opportunity to expand our life to the unknown, which sometimes may be frustrating, of course. So, if you already spent time just wandering in the city, observing people on the streets, please continue to do so. If you don't do that usually, maybe you can give it a try. It's a simple and effective way to start approaching street photography.